Everybody, good morning and welcome to the United Stand. I'm in the Ben Foster Football fill-in studio. There's no Ben Foster. He's in Vegas, probably having a very good time. He might see most of the Man United squad with him, actually, because they're clearly on holiday. I don't know who those imposters were against West Ham, but it's not Manchester United. And I think the bottom line this morning is that we are miles away from where we need to be. We can search for the hows and whys, and look, people are going to blame Ten Hag, they're going to blame De Gea, they're going to blame the attackers. But I think they're just out. There's something not right with that team at the moment. And I've seen a few people this morning saying, or last night, blaming it on the Glazers. And you know me, I'm right at the front of the queue to blame the Glazers. But the Glazers are not the players who are in the final third with no composure and no patience. You know, the Glazers are not picking that team as far as we know. I think you can go back to January and say, you spend a little bit more money and you get João Felix instead of Weghorst. That's a fair argument, but I don't think waking up this morning, I feel like, you know, we've got to get the sale sorted. Hopefully we're going to get something going on with that this week, but I can't sit here this morning after that result and find an excuse for the players through the Glazers. I think sometimes you've got to look at the players, and I'm sure Erik Ten Hag is doing that this morning, because fundamentally there is just something not right. There's something not right there. I likened it on TalkSport this morning. I said it's like Christmas Eve, you've not done any of your shopping, you're running around the Tesco 24/7, you're not enjoying it, you want to be at home watching Only Fools and Horses, you're grabbing what you can, there's no thought process, there's no enjoyment, and that's what it feels like with Man United yesterday. That was one of the most disappointing performances I've seen, because there was no soul in it. It was soulless. It was like walking around bare feet. It was terrible, because where is the celebrations gone for winning a throw-in or blocking a cross? That back five used to be doing that all the time. Bruno used to be doing that all the time. Casemiro used to be doing it all the time. Casemiro's wandering around like his hamster's died. It's not the same. Bruno his head's dropping as well. Rashford came alive for the last 5 minutes. Anthony shooting from all over the place. Weghorst, don't even get me started. So, yeah, I think you can look at Ten Hag's selections. You can certainly look at David De Gea's mistake. I've got no issue with that at all. But the identity of the team, there's something big going on there. And I don't know whether it's because there's been a fallout. I don't know whether it's because it's fatigue. But it comes back to the same thing again. Wearing a Manchester United shirt weighs heavy, and if you're not strong enough to carry it, get yourself down the gym and work harder, because they're not working hard enough. David Moyes came out after the game yesterday. It's two interesting quotes, one from Ten Hag, one from David Moyes. David Moyes came out after the game and said, I felt sorry for Manchester United. They played on Thursday night and, it's difficult to play. And I'm like, I disagree with you, David. It's probably why you got the sack, because ultimately, I watched that game back. The game's gone when United concede. As soon as Man United concede, it's like gluing a breeze block to their chin, because their heads just drop to the ground. But before that goal, you've got opportunities like Brighton in the first half an hour where we're working situations quite good. The transition from back to front, from the centre-backs through the midfield, you get to the edge of the box, and then suddenly it's like the ball is a time bomb. It's like, I've got to get it far away from any red shirt as quick as I can. And they'll shoot from... And this is the thing I really want to say as well. It doesn't matter whether you've played the game, doesn't matter whether you've played Football Manager, FIFA, whatever. When you think about every shot you take in your garden, down the five-a-side with your mates, if you think about every shot and you could pause it, you could get some stats where somebody'd say, even if you hit this well, the chances of it going in are probably 15%. The chances of you hitting it on target are probably 30%. And the chances of it going absolutely nowhere near are 70%. United are taking these shots where, I'm telling you now, not going in, but going on target, less than 20% chance. Because they're not shooting from the right areas. They're shooting from desperation areas. And I think the season... Look, Erik Ten Hag said after the game, we've got 4 games, it's in our hand. We've got Wolves at home next week. I think it's Bournemouth away, Chelsea at home, Fulham at home. 3 wins. Liverpool can do what they like. They can beat everybody 20-0. They can book the open top bus. They can do everything they like. But if Man United win 3 games, Liverpool can't catch us. Leave it to Newcastle. And I don't think they'll get caught either. But you've got to look at these games and you've got to think, like, what is going on in that team at the moment? Because it feels like there's an FA Cup final to come. Varane's going to come back. We need to find a bit of form, a bit of rhythm here. If Man City beat Real Madrid, they'll win the Champions League. It looks like they're going to win the league, which means that FA Cup final is not just Man United against Man City. It's Man United to stop Man City taking a treble that this team, not these players, but this football club worked so hard to get. It becomes a monumental game, and our form is terrible, absolutely terrible right now. So what we need to do is find some form. And I feel for Ten Hag in a way. I mean, there's not a lot of sympathy in relation to picking people like Weghorst, and please never pick Weghorst again. I think that's something he's got to not do. But I think that we have to find some form, but it feels like the players mentally just want to get the season done. It feels like they're not enjoying it anymore. If you look at Man City in the final third, or even Liverpool at the moment, or Arsenal, they're enjoying playing football. They're working the opportunities. You can see the rhythm, you can see the consistency, you can see the mentality. I look at Man United, they seem to want to, it's almost like they're on sim mode on FIFA. They want to hit the sim button. Let's sim it and see what happens. Oh, we lost to West Ham. That's what happens when you sim it, because you've got to work. You've got to work. You've got to put the work in. And we get into these positions and it's like, oh, I'm just going to shoot. Let's try and get the goal. There's no patience in the build-up. There's no composure. And it's a real problem. It's a real problem for United. Now, should we be making any changes? I'm waking up this morning. I'm feeling fresher than I did last night. I'm never changing the goalkeeper. I don't care what anybody says. I know there's a lot of people that want to go in on David De Gea. He made a big mistake yesterday. 15 clean sheets, he'll win the Golden Glove. At what point do you say, that mistake, kick him out the club, or 15 clean sheets? Oh, well, that's nothing to do with him. I'm sorry. We've all watched the game for years. Some of us have played the game. You don't get 15 clean sheets because your centre-backs are stopping everything. You've got to make saves. De Gea's the goalkeeper till the end of the season. I trust Ten Hag to make the right decision in the summer. That could be keep him, that could be move him on. But you've got to get behind the players. You've got to get behind De Gea. Simple as that. He made a mistake yesterday. We might need some big saves in the next few games. Would I be making any other changes? Not really. Until Varane comes back, it should be still Shaw and Lindelof. I heard Teddy Sheringham did an article over the weekend saying that Maguire's a really good centre-back. He's been badly treated. You've got to look at the players around him. When Steve Bruce played, he didn't get left on his own. His full-back would be there. His centre-back would be there. I mean, this is the problem, Teddy. This is 2023. You need a centre-back that can be left on their own. That's why Maguire doesn't play, because he can't be left on his own. You're right. Absolute legend, Teddy Sheringham of Manchester United, in my opinion. I'll never forget that equaliser in '99. But he's right, but he's wrong. You can't pick Maguire because he can't be left on his own. He's got to be, he's got to have a centre-back next to him. He's got to have a right-back next to him. We need to win games, not draw. We've got to win. We've got to be on the front foot, not defensive. So I'm not changing anything with the defence until Varane comes back. Somehow this team... And also never pick Weghorst again. Just never pick him again. Nice guy. If we're winning 4-0 in the final games of the season against Fulham, get him on for 10 minutes so the crowd can give him some applause and say thank you. But never pick him again. The biggest thing is... We can do this. We've just got to find the mentality. And we've got we've got 4 days of training before Wolves next week. Search for Casemiro. Get Casemiro in a room and say, where are you? I'm here. No, you're not. You're not here. Where are you? Where have you been? Where have you been for the last 6 weeks? Get Casemiro back properly. Get Bruno back in the number 10 position. Rashford, have a chat with him. Try and just keep Martial fit. We're not playing every 3 days now. We've got 5 days till Wolves, a week until Bournemouth, and then we've got Chelsea on the Thursday and Fulham. So there's a little bit of gap in there to do a bit. And most important of all, there's a bit of time to do some training groundwork. Get that forward line passing. I would do what we used to do when I used to train. You used to have to take your so if you're right-footed, you could keep your left foot, keep your left boot on, but you have to run around in your bare foot with your right to make you use your left foot. I would do something with United where I said you can't shoot from outside the box. We're going to do drills and you can't shoot from outside the box. And every shot you do has got to come from a pass. It sounds really basic, but it's what United need to do, because at the moment, I can't speak about how many times in the last 2 games I've seen selfish shots from outside the box instead of playing the extra pass. Composure is the word, I believe. Anyway, look, just a quick update this morning. It is a bank holiday in the UK, and we've got live content coming for you, though. The normal 8 o'clock show tonight. I'm on That's Football for Brighton Everton at 5:30. But we've got Fabrizio Romano at 1:30 live with me, talking all the transfer news and the United stale. So don't miss that. Thanks everyone for watching. Get your comments in below. What's going wrong with Manchester United at the moment? Why is it going wrong? And what would you do about it? Speak to you all in a bit.